to see a young boy walk into the nursery room. "Hey," the doctor called out just a moment too late. Just as he had barely gotten the word out of his mouth, the heavy wooden door latched. "Oh, hi there," a woman's voice called out just as Dr. Vigil reached the door. Placing his hand on the door handle, he looked back to see a nurse walking towards him. "Well, hello there, Mrs. Peterson," the doctor responded. "How are you doing this evening?" "I'm doing okay, Just before the door latched behind him, Angel suddenly heard the loud voice of an older man out in the hall. Quietly, Angel walked up to one of the 4 clear cribs that stood in front of a large window. Off to one side of the window was a pull string for curtains that hung on the opposite end of the large piece of glass. Quickly, yet quietly, Angel pulled on the strings until the view from the hallway was completely obstructed. Then, as he turned around, he found himself to be the center of attention to 4 sets of eyes. Walking back to one particular infant, the one closest to the door, Angel carefully stepped up onto his tiptoes as he reached in to pick up the restless baby as it only stared back at him, sucking on its fists. Lifting the infant up and over the edge of the plastic crib, Angel quickly placed one hand behind the baby's back as he simultaneously rested the weight of the child on his left arm. With the baby's head over his own shoulder, Angel then sniffed the infant's skin within the crook of its neck as he then immediately opened his jaws wide. Just before Angel closed his canines around the soft tissues, he quickly licked the warm skin, causing the infant to suddenly giggle and jump within his arms. Tilting the baby back, away from his shoulder, he looked at the child's face as he just smiled back. "What are you smiling about?" Angel spoke softly. In response, the bundle of joy kicked its legs and then put its fist back into its mouth. Like this, the baby seemed to just stare back at Angel. "You know," Angel spoke again, "I think that I like you. What's your name?" Stepping back towards the crib, Angel looked at the name that was printed on the head of the plastic contraption. Coincidentally, the same name that he also found on the child's wrist bracelet, Michael Dale Hall. "Well, Michael, today is your lucky day." Just as the words came out of Angel's mouth, the wooden door suddenly flew open as a man with blue scrubs walked in. "Who are you, young man?" the guy asked as he looked down to Angel. Michael's big brother," Angel lied. "Well, I'm sorry, but nobody belongs in here," the man said as he then lifted Michael out of Angel's arms. "You can look at your brother through the window." After replacing the infant back inside of his crib, the man then opened the curtains that hid the large window. Choosing to not attract any attention, Angel complied with what the man said and followed him out of the room. Stopping in front of the window, Angel stopped as he observed the guy disappear around a corner. Moments later, Angel then walked back into the room. Immediately closing the curtain again, Angel then went directly back to Michael's side and looked into the crib. Just like moments before, Michael smiled back at Angel just as they made eye contact with one another. Reaching into his front pocket, Angel then pulled out a pocket knife and opened it. "Michael, I won't let this hurt too much," Angel whispered as he then pulled Michael's hand up to the upper edge of the crib. Taking the small hand up in his own, Angel then slashed the soft tissues of the back of Michael's left hand, causing a stream of blood to rise out of the incision. Instantly, the smile disappeared off of Michael's face. However, Michael didn't cry as Angel licked the warm fluids off of the child's hand. Then, after taking only one good swipe with his tongue of the thick fluids, Angel then held Michael's hand tightly for a moment as he looked around the room. On the opposite side of the door to the nursery, Angel found what he was looking for, a button with instructions beside it. To press button for help. Looking back to Michael, Angel then released the child